Among institutions of learning, knowing how the school training experience of their alumni made them who they are, gives premium to a school commemoration of its Jubilee anniversary. In the context of the Diamond Jubilee Anniversary celebration of Colegio de la Purísima Concepción, CPC, this phenomenological qualitative study looked into the values learned, developed, and practiced by its alumni, that is the Purisimians, for the past 75 years. It also probed on things Purisimians felt happy and grateful being a part of CPC. The study involved a non-probable sample size of 60 Purisimians from different batches, from academic year 1948 to 2023, and educational units of the college, basic education, higher education, and postgraduate programs. Qualitative data gathered were based on 3 researcher-made and open-ended validated questions. The qualitative data content analysis method of Perveen and Showkat in 2017 guided the process of data analysis. The study obtained 3 major results. Number 1, values related to self and others were learned by Purisimians while studying in CPC. 2, Purisimians demonstrated the values they learned from CPC in their personal and social life. And 3, Purisimians were pleased for the growth and development they achieved out of their CPC Catholic education. From these, 3 conclusions were drawn. 1, good values are learned in CPC. 2, the personal and social lives of Purisimians are the loci where the values they learned in CPC are manifested. And 3, Purisimians are happy and grateful to acknowledge their personal growth and development because of their CPC Catholic education. In the celebration of the 75th founding anniversary of Colegio de la Purísima Concepción, knowing what learnings and values its alumni, the Purisimians, developed and are manifesting in the community they belong, makes the commemoration of its Diamond Jubilee anniversary more relevant and meaningful. Probing the impact of the institution's identity and mission to society engenders the heartbeat of a profound anniversary celebration. This study aimed to look into the CPC values that Purisimians have learned, developed, and are practicing in their present lives. It also probed what are the things Purisimians feel happy and grateful for being part of the CPC academic community. Specifically, it answered the following questions. 1. What profile can be drawn from the respondents of the study in terms of sex, batch, and department affiliation? 2. What values did CPC teach that the Purisimians learned while studying in CPC? 3. In what ways do Purisimians demonstrate the CPC values they developed? 4. As a Purisimian, what are the things one is most happy and grateful about CPC? This study made use of the phenomenological qualitative research design. To achieve the research objectives of this study, the structure and approaches of the said design are phenomenological as they focus on dealing with human experiences, that is the lived experiences of Purisimians while studying in CPC, as described by the research participants. In a non-numerical manner, the meaning of experiences held by the respondents is sought relative to their subjective points of view and beliefs. In the absence of a sampling formula, 60 respondents coming from the different groups of batches, from 1948 to 1973, 1974 to 1999, and from 2000 to 2023, and departments, 20 from the basic education unit, 21 from the higher education unit, and 19 from postgraduate programs, were purposively selected. In the gathering of qualitative data relative to the problem statements of this study, 3 major questions were used. These questions were open-ended and the researcher made questions. Unlike the 4th major question, the 2nd and 3rd major questions have secondary questions related to the major questions to help clarify the major questions and provide specific directions to what each major question was asking about. In gathering the needed data, the researcher employed 3 groups of research assistants with 6 members for each group. These research assistants were postgraduate school students who underwent a series of sessions on qualitative research to ensure the proper conduct of the qualitative data gathering procedure for this study. The qualitative data content analysis method of Perveen and Showkat of 2017, guided the process of analyzing the collected data in terms of noting the occurrence and recurrence of concepts and explaining their meanings, relationships, etc. In effect, analyses of qualitative data were made as bases for data interpretation and discussion, which gave meaning to the qualitative data sought in this study. For sex, the profile would tell that more than half of the respondents were mostly female than male. While the three batch affiliation categories were properly represented, the profile would show that a higher percentage of respondents, 42%, came from those who graduated from 1974 to 1999 as compared to the other two categories. Also, the profile would indicate that a higher number of respondents, 35%, were graduates of the CPC Higher Education Unit. While those respondents who were graduates of CPC postgraduate programs and Higher Education Unit were slightly lower, 32% respectively. From among the 9 values learned and taught in CPC which the respondents expressed, it can be noted that more than half of the respondents expressed 7 values collectively in a significant manner. As seen in Figure 1, the first 3 values in rank were love of God, 81%, Catholic faith, 71%, and devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary, 63%. While the next values learned and taught in CPC that obtained higher rank were virtues, 56%, self-responsibility, 52%, service, 50%, and moral values, 50%. These values are related to the spiritual and religious aspects of one's life, especially availing the sacraments, knowing and believing in God, God-fearing, and Marian devotion. These learnings are more related to personal and interpersonal dealings. They developed interpersonal skills, helped them become better individuals for others, and led them to serve others and the community in many ways. From among the 7 manifestations of the CPC values that the respondents learned in CPC, results show that more than half of the respondents commonly expressed 5 manifestations. As seen in Figure 2, the first 3 manifestations in rank were other-oriented, 98%, professionalism in one's workplace, 96%, and prayer, 86%. The next manifestations of values that the respondents learned in CPC that obtained a high rank were Christlikeness in words and actions, 56%, and service to the Church, 50%. These manifestations reflect a sense of altruism by thinking and favoring others more than themselves, putting Christian charity to action and in one's context. This shows that while Purisimians learned religious and spiritual values as students, they were also made aware of the enduring call to be Christ-like in their words and actions at home, inside and outside the school and in the workplaces and community that they would be part of. Given the 7 items, 4 appeared to be significant. These are learning experience, 81%, quality Catholic education, 76%, personal growth and development, 66%, and finding CPC to be a second home, 50%. Purisimians find CPC a home where a sense of family and lasting friendship were forged, where faith formation and total self-development were sown and nurtured. Purisimians are happy and thankful since CPC genuinely carried out her role as an institution of learning that provided circumstances and conditions for growth and development among learners. For summary, conclusions and recommendations, values related to self and others were learned by Purisimians while studying in CPC. Good values are learned in CPC. Purisimians demonstrated the values they learned from CPC in their personal and social life. The personal and social life of Purisimians are the loci where the values they learned in CPC are manifested. Purisimians were pleased with the growth and development they achieved in their lives out of their CPC Catholic education. Purisimians are happy and grateful to acknowledge the role of CPC in their growth and development as an individual.
Purisima.